Well, the economy is slowly coming back, but with a new category of families who face tougher challenges. The acronym for them, A.L.I.C.E. Here with the definition, economic analyst William Rodgers, chief economist at Rutgers University. Let's talk about what this stands for. A rather benign name, but it means trouble.
Yes, A.L.I.C.E. stands for asset limited, income constrained, and employed. And basically, these are families who are above the poverty line, the federal poverty line, but they're below. But they're below what we call a self-sufficiency threshold. That is, that they don't have enough income to basically make ends meet in their community.
So these are not generally working poor, but working middle class.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, A.L.I.C.E. families, which and where this name came from is that United Way of Northern New Jersey, here in New Jersey, where our studios are located, we span 5 counties. We basically did research and identified these groups of families in New Jersey. About a third of households in New Jersey fit this category.
1/3.
About 1.1 million households in New Jersey. That's
wow.
right. And so what it is that it's better than the federal poverty line, because the federal poverty line is a line that is the same across the United States. And so what we're doing in this work at the United Way of Northern New Jersey is that we're able to go into each county and figure out, okay, how much does it cost to live in your county? Right? How much is your housing? How much is your food bill? How much is your health insurance? How much is your child care? And we bundle this budget.
And these are all variables as opposed to a straight line.
That's right. That's right. And so in a place like Somerset County or Morris County, which are more affluent counties, right, the cost of living there is greater. So you have a potentially larger share of families who look like they're making a good income, solid income, but because of the cost of living, they're a job loss away from being thrust into poverty, or at least put down, or a natural disaster, Superstorm Sandy. Yeah. We looked at or found out that basically there's 12 counties that the Governor Christie identified, right, as we have a gas or an energy shortage or emergency, and about 700,000 of the 1.1 million families in New Jersey who fit this A.L.I.C.E. designation, who are, again, right, they're working, but they're, as you said, a paycheck away from potential disaster. They live in these 700,000 of 1.1 million live in these 12 counties that were designated as energy emergencies.
People around the world who look at the U.S., they look at the U.S. and say, wow, there's so much wealth there, so much opportunity there. It's hard for, sometimes you get into conversations with folks abroad, so it's hard to imagine that there's poverty here in the U.S. But is this kind of the dirty little secret of our economy, that so many people are working, their productivity is up, but we're getting paid less? And we're just on the line. Yeah,
it's a dirty little secret, but it's a secret that has been swept under the rug for 2-3 decades. We have seen this fits into a broader trend of growing income inequality in the United States that started occurring in the early 1980s. And I'm glad you all showed that Walmart segment, because those Walmart associates, they are A.L.I.C.E. And yes, there's the trigger of poor working conditions and having to potentially work on Thanksgiving, but the bigger, broader particular issue is what we call worker share, or that is the share of profit that a firm makes, all right, that goes to its employees. That has been trending down over the last 2 to 3 decades, and we've trended down our social safety nets. We've trended down our investments in education and training. We've trended down our investments in infrastructure, right? And these are all the building blocks of life. These are all those hedges against a natural disaster, right?
If you take, and as I'm sure you talk to your students about projections, if you take what we've been doing for the last 10 years and apply that to the next 10, do you see a 2-tiered society for the very wealthy and the very poor with no middle class?
Well, that's consistent with what we've been seeing, yes, already, and I think it will continue if we don't address the fiscal cliff in the proper way. That is, if we continue to pursue this tax cut strategy, which pulls back resources that allow us to invest in the 3 building blocks of life: education, right, income stability, and health. And so, over the next few weeks, I'm watching eagerly what what's going to happen in Congress, because we truly are at a fork at the road. And there's that wonderful old Fram oil filter commercial, right, from the 1970s, 80s. You can pay me now
or pay me later.
Yeah, exactly.
You're absolutely right. I wonder how much this resonates in Washington. Do you see the president and Congress coming to a meeting of sorts finally to say, look, we really have to address this? Or else.
Well, there was the day after the election. I mean, you had people who were very happy. Right, President Obama was reelected, and then you had people very happy. Well, the Republicans maintained the House, and the Democrats picked up some seats in the Senate. And then people said, "Oh my gosh, that's status quo. That's what we just had." But I maintain, I think that the constraints are bigger this time, that if we don't get to yes, if these members of Congress don't get to yes, we truly are going to be putting our economy, our society, and our culture on a flight path that, in my economics world, will be lower productivity, and then in the macroeconomics world, slower economic growth. The pie won't be growing as much.
Yeah.
So the costs of inaction, of not getting to yes, are bigger.
We'll bring you back. Keep us posted.
Well, sure do.
Thanks, Doctor.
Thanks.